Good morning, guys. Welcome to my Monday morning rant for the 21st of June, 2021. Another hugely eventful week for me. So many photo shoots. But really, primarily what I've been doing is chipping away at my photography portfolio website, which is justinfoxphoto.com. It's a Squarespace site. I hadn't touched it since I started Patreon. And, for all those years where I was shooting and uploading these humongous, like 30, 40, 50 photo large sets of every model that I was shooting, after Patreon, it just made more sense to just share all of that content with people who are actually paying me for it. But if you really think about it, I only have 30 or 40 patrons at any one time. So that's a whole lot of content that people aren't seeing. I suppose my photo portfolio has just been a bit of an archive, and over the years, the only thing I've ever done is maybe remove a few photo sets from girls who have decided to change their careers up and move on and want all of the sort of sexy photos of themselves taken down all over the internet. So that's the only thing I've ever done, is just gone in there to delete photo sets. So, I've been literally spending some serious hours on updating the portfolio, and I've probably deleted around 50 photo sets off there, maybe even more. And it's that constant struggle, I think, that all artists probably deal with, where do you want your portfolio to be this snapshot of all of your best work, or do you go and it's almost like your Instagram, right? Like, do you sit there with your Instagram and make sure every single photo that's on there is awesome and perfect? Or do you just leave what you posted like 5 years ago or whatever? Do you just leave it up there? And sure, you keep posting your better work now. Your work's a lot better. It makes perfect sense. But, do you go and like curate your own portfolio to show only the best of, or do you just leave everything up? And I know a lot of the girls that I've shot with in the past, they're so happy with their shots that would they feel bad if they were to visit my portfolio and find that they're not on it anymore? And it's just kind of shit that like floats around in my head when I'm deleting sets, Anyway, I've what's done is done. I have deleted a shit ton, and I've also added a whole lot of new work. Of course, the more erotic sort of stuff I have left off there, really, because I still think the Patreons need to know what they're paying for, and I'd rather not have all of that stuff on my portfolio website anyway. So largely a lot of the nude stuff, and there's not that much nudity, and if there is, some of it I actually censored and uploaded. So I mean, I hate putting blurry spots all over photos and censorship and all that, and squiggles and lines and shit, but I've done it because I think it feels right. That's going to be a constant for me from now, is to keep upgrading the justinfoxphoto.com website, and even work on it and refine it some more, because I was showing it to Viv and Ellie the other night and realized that some of the orders of the photos weren't quite right, and it needs quite a bit more work. It's just going to be something that I keep chipping away at from now on. I also had 3 photo shoots last week. Two of them with 2 Italian girls actually, which had not so much experience. Gloria she's a Colombian girl, but made in Colombia, but she's Italian, and she's been out here for a couple of years, and she had a shaved head. She's really petite, and she is really trying to be a professional photo model, fashion model. Um, and yeah, I don't know what it is, right? But every time I shoot someone, I will check out their Instagram, check out their photos, and I don't usually like what I see. I don't mean to be like a snob or nothing, but like I, I just know that people. I know people can take better shots, and I see a lot of photographers doing the boudoir thing or the fashion thing where girls are chins up with their arms next to their faces, and it's just so cliche. And chin up is not necessarily the best angle for certain people. And the photos of Gloria that were on her Instagram, she looked really too strong. Like her jawline was really strong in these shots, and she looks quite androgynous in them and almost manly in some of these photos. And it was so not the girl that was sitting in front of me, like we ended up like chatting for ages and drinking some wine and just chilling, and she's super cute and she's got a really pretty face and she got cute freckles. And yeah, no one had ever taken a photo of her that captured the soft side of her, so I would say we had a good shoot, and we didn't come up with too many photos. I think there was only like 11 edited photos in the end, but they were really straight white wall shots. We shot some out on the deck as well, and there were a couple of shots in there that I think she looks better in these photos than anything that she had on her existing Instagram feed. And she loves the shots, and she's changed her profile photo to one of my photos, and secretly that's one of my missions when it comes to shooting with girls. Like, I love it when girls use my photos to represent who they are on their social media. They change their profile photos out on their Facebook, Instagram, and even better when girls show their mothers my photos and give me some feedback and how their mothers love the photos. Like I just really strongly believe that like everyone has seen a photo of themselves that they actually like. Like, I fucking hate being in front of the lens, but every now and then someone will take a photo of me that I look at and I'm like, fuck, I actually don't mind how I look in that photo. And I think for me, when I'm shooting people, that's the shot that I try to achieve. Like, to shoot a shot where someone actually looks photogenic and great and they're happy with how they look in the photo. It might not be exactly how they look all the time, but it's a certain angle, it's a certain smile or smirk, or I don't know, it's such a big combination of things. But every now and then you can capture someone in a shot where they're really happy with how they look in it. So yeah, that was one shoot with Gloria, and the day after I literally shot with another Italian girl, Veronica, and the story with Veronica was borderline frustrating, and it ended up being really cool. But she messaged me about the free shoot, and she's like, well, literally the day before, she's like, oh, but I don't want to do anything sexy at all, nothing sexy. I think she's studying to be a lawyer, and she was paranoid about having sexy photos out there, and she's probably seen my Instagram, I'm not sure what, but she just said, I don't want to do anything sexy at all. And I'm like, well, that's fine, I'm totally cool with, like, that's the thing, like, over so many years, so many girls like, oh, I want to shoot with you so bad, but I don't want to do lingerie. I'm like, man, I just shoot whatever people bring. Hey, like, I never set the theme. I never suggest what to bring. When girls say, what do you want to shoot? I'm like, well, I'll shoot what you want to shoot. Like, whatever outfits you bring, I'll make it work, So yeah, with Gloria, it was completely it's just a straighty 180 fashion shoot. With Veronica, I'm like, I'm happy to do just shoot your face, because she has these amazingly huge green eyes, and that's what she actually sold me. She said, I have amazing green eyes. So I'm like, well, let's shoot your face then. And her response to that was, oh, but I've got so many photos of my face already. And I'm like, God damn, why are you even contacting me? Like, I knew I was going to get some of this if I posted up the free shoot thing. And so before that shoot even started, I was already like, oh my God, here we go. Anyway, she was a cool chick. we hung out. We went down to the beach. We shot outdoors a bit. We shot against some white wall as well, and we really got along, you know. And she ended up messaging me later that night or the day after, and she had taken some time to go through my work, and she fucking loved it. And she was screen grabbing stuff and showing me some of the more erotic in situ point of view stuff where like I'm holding on to her Viv's ankles or something like that. And then she started up another Instagram account and posted a selfie of herself in high heels on the bed, a quite sexy shot, an interesting angle. And she hashtagged me in that and said, Justin Fox, round 2, photo shoot round 2, you know. And it's funny that she messaged me and says, I love your art. And that's what I was trying to tell her, that this is, you don't have to be unclothed to do a sexy photo, and there's nothing wrong with a photo with a bit of a sexual charge to it. It makes it interesting, right? And I just find it hilarious that she now really wants to do some photos that are, in essence, quite sexy, and that's really what she didn't want to do. But I think it's like she just didn't do her research properly, and she didn't check out my stuff, my work, and didn't see the art in it maybe initially, and now she does. So I'm just really happy to have inspired her to explore maybe another side of herself, and to, you know, want to do some sort of boudoir style photography. I think that's super cool. And like, speaking of inspiration, like the escort that I shot with the week before last, Anna from Melbourne, she has messaged me again a couple of times as well, and she's started off her OnlyFans, and she's now getting some subscribers there, making some money there. And she sent me a whole bunch of photos that she's taken of herself with, like, I suppose it's her iPhone on a timer or something. And she's literally like copying my work. She was feeling really bad about it. And so she sent me this stuff saying, I'm really inspired by your work, and like, it's starting to look like a lot like your work. And I'm like, hey, that's cool. Like, inspiration's fine. Like, it's totally normal, you know. And if anything, I've got nothing to hide. So when someone does take a bit too much inspiration from the stuff that I do, it probably like inspires me to go and try to find something new to do anyway. So I just think that's the way I've always worked, right? So that's great. And she's booked me in for a shoot in early September when she's back in Sydney. So you know, it's working out. Like, I think that is the concept. You know, I've forgotten that it's quite good business for me to do these free shoots and then meet girls who, if they do love my work and they want to shoot the second time, they're going to have to pay me the second time. So it's working out. It's working out quite well. Last Saturday, I found another left-handed acoustic guitar. I don't know what the fuck it is, but that's 2 in a row now where people are just chucking out left-handed acoustic guitars. And it was $50. It was an actual Fender this time, not a Squier, but a real Fender acoustic guitar. And man, I just wanted it for the Fender logo on the headstock, the spaghetti Fender logo. And it was out in Caringbah, and I was busy that day. I was going to catch up with Viv and Ellie, and I messaged the seller, another girl actually. Like, last time was a girl that sold me gave me the Epiphone Lefty for free. This girl was Kitty, and we had a shared friend. So Aaron, and I sort of checked out her Facebook profile, and she's in a band, which is really cool. But she's a drummer, and she said, no. I said, can you hold on to it, because I'm busy today. Can you hold on to it till like Tuesday next week, being tomorrow? And she's like, oh no, I want to go on today. And I'm like, oh fuck, fair call. So I literally jumped in the car. It was pissing down rain. Jumped in the Jazz and like went over to Caringbah, picked it up. It's a bit rough around the edges, this guitar, and needs a bit of TLC. But I've given it a bit of TLC. I had to adjust the truss rod, and it's got a built-in tuner. The tuner works. I haven't checked to see if I've plugged if the pickup still works. So I need to plug it in and suss that out today. But basically after that, it was a bit of a guitar day. I bought 2 Fenders in one day, which is unbelievable considering it was only recently that I bought my first Fender, right, on my birthday last month. So I dropped into Sunburst Music, which is it's just such a sweet story. Like 30 years ago, my mum took me there to buy my first guitar. And I was greeted by this sort of old dude with long hair, and he was wearing like leathers and just a rock and roll outfit. And he literally only had 2 lefties in the shop. One of them was this sort of metallic red heavy metal guitar. I don't even know what brand it was. It could have been Schecter, but I would say it wasn't a Schecter. It was something else. I just don't remember what brand it was. But it had a Floyd Rose, and it was like full heavy metal whammy bar, you know. And the other guitar was a Japanese Tokai Stratocaster with the brown sunburst, which is like to die for to me these days. But back then I was just like, oh my God, that just looks old, and it's just not me. And I was really into Faith No More and heavy metal and stuff. So I really wanted the metal guitar. And this old dude had to demo the guitar for me because I didn't know how to play. So I'm like, he passed me the guitar. I'm like, I don't know how to play it. You play it, you know? So he had to play it upside down. He played the heavy metal guitar. I do not remember what he did on that. But then when he picked up the Tokai, he was doing like big bends and stuff, and it sounded really good, and it was rocking out, but it sounded good, but at the same time to my ears it was like, oh, that's so rock and roll and a bit naff, and it was nothing like heavy metal. So I did think it was a bit naff, but he cranked it. It was really loud, and it was just a real memorable experience. And so I've gone back in there. It all started like the week before, where I saw a photo that they posted up on their Facebook page of someone buying a lefty guitar there. And I'm like, I responded under that photo. I said, fuck, you guys stock lefties? Like this whole time I didn't know they stocked lefties. And they're just one of those shops that they don't update their website with what guitars they have in stock. Maybe they don't believe so much in web shops and stuff. They don't have a web shop, you know? I suppose they really believe in the physical shop, and the fact that the physical shop is still there after all these years. If anything, they've expanded because now it's twice as big, and half of the shop is acoustic guitars and the other half is electrics. So anyway, so I've dropped in there, and I've seen 2 younger guys in there, but I'm like, oh my God, I hope Douglas is in, because I just really wanted to buy another guitar off the same guy that sold me a guitar 30 years ago. And then I spot him. There he is. He's in the shop, and he's wearing like a full-on country-styled shirt with the country shapes on his chest and stuff, and he's still got the long hair, and he's, got a cool hat on. And I literally just blurted out with telling him the story of my mum taking me in there 30 years ago to buy my first guitar, and he loved it. And he said, you know why I was trying to sell you the Japanese guitars? Because it was a better guitar. I'm like, of course it was the better guitar. That metal guitar that I bought was a piece of shit. It was expensive. It was more expensive than the Japanese guitar, and it was rubbish. And I really regret not buying that Japanese Tokai Strat. I probably still have it today. And to have your first guitar still would be just, oh, it'd be so good, because I'm such a Strat guy now. And it's like, my God, I really wish I had bought that guitar that Douglas was really pushing me to buy. And yeah, he acknowledged that. And so anyway, it turns out where they once upon a time had 2 lefties in there, this time they had 3. And it's just so sad, the state of lefties in guitar shops. It's understandable because they don't sell a heap of them, but my God, these guys had the most beautiful guitars in this shop, and all of them were right-handed. And it got to a stage where I did walk around and I started to look at a few of them, and then I couldn't look at them anymore because ultimately they're all right-handed. There's no point in me looking at this stuff. There was no point in me admiring stuff, and it was so hard to tell what was actually old or not because, these days there's a real trend to buying custom shop guitars that have been relicked to look old. But Douglas was pretty quick to point out a few guitars that were from the 60s that were in the shop. And like, oh my God, can you imagine buying something that from the 60s with all that natural wear and tear and all those stories? And I would love a genuine, guitar from like the year I was born, like 75. Like, fuck, that would just be a 75 Strat. That would be my dream Strat. But yeah, anyway, he passed me a polar white Fender Player Telecaster, made in Mexico, MIM. And I had 1,395, the recommended retail price on the headstock, and he was very quick to say that he would be throwing in one of the Fender hard cases, which is the exact same hard case that I got with the American Pro 2 Fender that I bought last month. Beautiful case. And but I knew I didn't want the case. Like, none of my guitars live in cases anymore. They're all out, and they're going to stay out. And I knew I was going to try to beat him down on price because there was another exact same polar white lefty Telecaster in another guitar shop for $950, which is a shitload less than $1,350. Like at $950 was the cheapest. It's the cheapest lefty Telecaster, Mexican Telecaster on the market at the moment in Australia. And I was playing the guitar. I was like, fuck, he cranked up the amp so fucking loud. It was embarrassing to play. My fingers were cold and I wasn't warmed up. And, it's hard to not feel like you're being judged by guitar shop people and customers walking in. And, like, what the fuck do you play at a guitar shop? Like, it's just, oh my God. So I made sure I didn't play any covers and I only played my own stuff. But even then, everything that I was playing wasn't sounding too good, and the guitar was going out of tune too, and I assume that's because no one's ever picked it up to play it. It's a lefty after all, right? So yeah, I was kind of struggling there, but came time to like making an offer, and I'm like, man, I just felt so bad because this shop it's like a jewel, It's like, it's amazing that he's still there 30 years later. The shop is still there. They're doing well, obviously, and the guitar shop is like a dream. It's like there's so much good stuff in that shop. It's like a no-compromise store. Nothing in there is shit. Nothing is cheap and nasty. Everything is just amazing. It's just a great story of sticking to your guns. And where there were 2 or 3 other guitar shops on that same street once upon a time, they've long gone, and this guy is still there. And so I just said to him, like, oh man, I really feel bad. Like, I don't want to, I don't want to beat around the bush, and I don't want to, like, I feel bad about bargaining you down. He goes, no. He cut me off and he said, no, just spit it out. Like, it's all good. Just go for it. And I'm like, oh, well, I've seen the same guitar for $950. I was wondering if you would match it. I felt so fucking bad saying it. And then he just goes, not a problem. $950 it is. So, damn. Like, I walked out of there with that guitar, and I felt so good, but I felt so bad. But it's like, I'm just so happy they still exist, and I'm so stoked that they were willing to match the price. It's a beautiful guitar. I doubt I even need to sell it. The first guitar I made a guitar in high school, and it was a Telecaster, and a few months ago, I bought an Artist TC59, which is a Telecaster copy, but it's not a Telecaster, right? It is not the real deal, and this is the real deal. I think the Mexican-made Telecaster is the working class Telecaster. It's not overpriced like your American, and it's not made in Asia. And I really considered buying an Indonesian made Telecaster Affinity model for so long there, and I'm now just so glad that I got the Mexican. And it's going to be a dirty Mexican too. I doubt I'm going to be playing this thing clean so much. I think it's more going to be like dirty tones. So, that was a great Saturday. Picked up 2 Fenders, went straight to Ellie's place with Viv, and Viv's in a strange place at the moment. Like, she's looking to take a long break from escorting. She's looking to move in actually to my place while she figures out what she wants to do. She's going to give up her place and end the lease there, so she's going to stop paying rent there, and she'll move in with me for a bit. And I think living by the beach is going to be really good for her, and hope that she really uses the environment to like get into a better headspace than she's at right now. I think she's just going through a big spiritual change, which is awesome to see, and I'm here for her. So we had a good night. Like, Viv's mum made us some Vietnamese food that we just had to finish off cooking. Ellie finished off cooking it. It was fucking amazing. Like, when you get home cooked meals, oh my god, this Vietnamese beef and vermicelli noodles and like lettuce and coriander, and oh my god, I was in heaven. But I was also like super drunk, so it was a combination of things. And at the end of the night, we dropped into Messina, just down the road from where Ellie lives, and there was a queue there. It's a fucking cold night, and it was wet and raining, and there was a queue outside of Messina's, which is, atypical, I suppose. Everyone fucking loves Messina's. And we're queuing up, and this young girl goes past and goes, enjoy your overpriced ice cream. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I haven't had someone shout something negative out at me for so long. And I just wish I caught her and had a chat with her about it, because I'm like, what the fuck is up your bum? Like, you're in Surrey Hills for one. It's already like a really kind of fancy, schmancy, expensive suburb. Like, if you really fucking didn't like expensive things, maybe you shouldn't even be living in Sydney. So I was like, what the fuck? No one seemed fazed by it either, except for me. Like, no one in the queue turned around and listened to her. No one said anything. It was only me that really wanted to chase after her and, hey, that you're interesting. Like, fuck, I'd like to know what the thinking was behind saying something like that to a crowd of people that were lining up for ice cream. Like, does it make you feel better? Like, how does it make you feel better that you said that? And would it make you happier if people bought cheaper ice cream instead from the supermarket? Like, it was just so weird. Anyway, fuck, I'm rambling. I have photo shoots nearly every single day of this week. I was meant to shoot with Abby last week, but she got the flu, and I'm so glad she let me know, because I really can't afford to catch the flu. I'm so busy right now. So yeah, I've got so many shoots, and it's amazing. 3 of the shoots that I have this week, 3 of them are escorts. So one of them works in a brothel. Another one does the whole Nuru massage, happy ending massage thing. And she does escorting as well. And another one is from interstate. And so she's really not 100% sure she can make it this week because of all the COVID shit going on right now. So that's really interesting. And I have still other shoots to line up as well. So it's going to be a really busy week. It's going to be a fun one. And I'm going to be shooting with one of the escorts in 3 hours from now. So I'm going to start getting ready. Thanks for listening if you guys made it this far. Don't step on the keyboard. I hope everyone has an awesome week, and I shall catch you guys in the next one. See yas.